to enjoy the Bossman Show, new coach of the Idaho State Bengals, Coach Ryan Looney out there in the Big Sky Conference. Coach Looney, how does it feel to have that job out there at Idaho State, man?
Feels good so far. We definitely have a lot going on, but kind of knocking stuff off the list one thing at a time.
And I see you've hired a great staff out there as well. I know it's very key when you get your new job to hire a good staff, and I feel like you have a great staff. Talk a little bit about the staff you hired out there so far.
Yeah, I felt right away that was an important piece to get in place. Our university did a fantastic job kind of speeding that process up. Human resources got it done relatively quickly, and they're all slowly making their way to campus here this week. But we hired Jared Fay from the College of Southern Idaho as our associate head coach. We got Joe White, who has been the head coach at Lane Community College in Oregon, as one of our assistants. We got another guy named Chris McMillan, who's going to come here from the University of Illinois, Chicago. And then Davis Furman is our graduate assistant who followed me to Idaho State from Point Loma.
Yes, indeed. That's always very key for a coach. I just tell people all the time, when you have the right staff, right people to help you develop your young men, and delegate things to the coaches as well. Takes them a little bit off your plate because you can adjust to the new role, have guys to support you, and keep the program afloat as you handle all the media obligations, boosters, administrative kind of things. So I feel like it's good that you have a great staff already in place and coming to you here real soon.
Yeah, for sure. We knew that was a huge piece, like I said, going into it. I feel like they're guys that can definitely work well together. I think the group of us will develop fantastic relationships with each other in hopes that trickles down to the student athletes on our team too.
Now, Coach, I know you've been a head coach at the NAIA level and the D2 level, so what do you feel to be the biggest adjustment for you coming from those levels to D1 that have been a head coach?
You know what? I look at it as the next challenge for me. If I thought it would have been too big a one, I wouldn't have taken the job. At the end of the day, basketball is basketball. I know being a Division I coach now, there's going to be some other responsibilities that come along with that, and I'm excited and fortunate for the opportunity.
Now, Coach, if you could share with the listeners here, I know it's a little bit difference for scholarship-wise from D2 to D1, so if you could explain what's a little bit of the difference between coaching in D2 and D1 that you already know of?
Well, the scholarship thing is definitely different. At Division I, you get 13 full rides, and a student athlete can either get everything paid for or nothing as a walk-on. At Division II, it was completely different. A Division II school can use a maximum of 10 scholarships, but the coach and university have, at their discretion, the ability to break that money up in any way they want. So I always would say you could literally give a guy a $5 scholarship or a full ride. It was almost more like working with the salary cap, although on a much lower level of money than maybe like a professional sports organization would.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I learned some today myself. I didn't know that was how it was in D2, like a salary cap system almost. That's bananas.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, for sure.
Now,
for sure. And it definitely presented a whole different set of challenges when you're trying to build a roster.
I can only imagine the headaches you got trying to figure out how to distribute that money around and keep guys happy, keep people. I can only imagine the headache you had with that coach. I can only imagine.
Yep.
I think about this playing on Madden, the salary cap, and NBA 2K. And whoa,
yeah, for sure.
Real life money. Oh yeah, that hurt me to my soul, Coach.
Yeah, I'd been doing it for a long time, so we kind of had it down to a science in regards to what we would do with our resources from year to year.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, recruiting-wise, I know there's 5 ways you can get players to Idaho State, would be high school seniors, grad transfers, sit warrant and play, how many years they got left, international guys or JUCO guys. So which one of 5 ways do you feel like you'll be going trying to build your program, or you do a mixture of all, depends on the fit for you guys?
Yeah, we're going to turn over every rock. Obviously, we're going to recruit high school kids that can be in the program for 4 years, but we'll recruit junior college kids. We'll recruit guys who may be interested in transferring from another 4-year university and grad transfers as well. At the end of the day, regardless of their situation, we'll just be looking for the same type of kid in regards to character and then obviously skill level on the floor too.
Yes, indeed. And also, coach, recruiting guys on the roster now. I know is when you're a new hire, you have to really kind of build a rapport with those kids quick before they want to transfer out of the program. So, how's it been getting to know your new guys? Kind of maybe get on the court with them for final exams here, start here next week or so here. So, how's that been? Kind of get to know the guys that you have and getting them guys to buy it and what you're trying to sell and build this program going forward.
Yeah, it's definitely been a work in progress. When I was hired, my family and I immediately flew to campus. The first day here, I met with them collectively as a group. Shortly after that, I did an individual meeting with each player on the team, just trying to get a gauge in regards to who wanted to really be at Idaho State and who didn't. Right now, we know going into the summer, our workouts will start up next week. We've got 9 returning players on the roster, and our staff is working hard to potentially bring in 6 or 7 here late this spring too.
Yes, indeed, and also getting the job. You can early here. You can really implement your system a little bit within the workouts because now you have 4 hours to work out and from the 2 that it used to be for the D1 guys. So getting to kind of get the team building, player development piece is really important for you this summer. You got to get a feel for your guys, like what you have on the roster. Get them and kind of get ready to expect what they can see and come October and November here.
Yeah, the player development piece is huge. I'm excited to get an opportunity to start working with them here shortly. Our development is going to come in a lot of different areas. On the court is definitely one of them, but we know that we need to help guys develop their bodies too. So a big piece of what we do here these next 8 weeks during the summer is literally going to be weight room and conditioning.
Oh yes, indeed. That's very important. And coach, far as your team, when somebody watches Idaho State next year, what do you want them to take away from watching your team play every night out there and out in the Big Sky Conference there?
Well, we definitely want to be a great half-court execution team. I think if you were to talk to people in basketball in regards to the teams I've coached in the past, that would be something that they would be very frequently identified with. But at the end of the day, I think it's been a little bit of a journey. But I think we always try to have offense in our rebounding, and I don't think I see that changing here.
Yes, indeed. And good thing about if you play defense every night, you can fit the offense around whatever you have. But if you defend on any of the court, stop them from scoring, you always have a chance every night.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I said it, that you got to control what you can control. And we can definitely do that with our effort and the habits that we develop in regards to defense and rebounding.
Now, Coach, non-conference scheduling wise, I know that you probably have some guarantee games you have to play to raise money for the school budget there. But beyond those guarantee games, what kind of games are you trying to play non-conference wise? Kind of build your team some stamina and some callous as they get ready to go into the Big Sky Conference, which has been a very tough league, getting better from each year with Travis DeCure, those guys in Montana, kind of leading the way out there.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be careful what we do with our schedule. Obviously, we do need to play some guarantee games to bring in some money, but also we need to be able to find some games where we have a chance to have some great success too. So we got a number of different things that we're working on. The former staff had some games already in place. Just off the top of my head, we'll go to Wyoming. We play Air Force. We're at Washington State. And now we're working to make sure we fill some dates with some home games as well.
Yes, now, Coach, I'd like to ask new coaches this at D1 about who are some coaches, individuals who really help mold you as a coach to make you the man you are today and the coach you are today?
You know what? A lot of different things. A lot of my experience was at the small college level, but I worked for some really great people, but also coached in some conferences at a young age where people like Bo Ryan was at when he coached Division III at Wisconsin Platteville, and then I was an assistant at Minnesota State Moorhead when Don Meyer was the head coach at Northern State. So I always looked at those guys as people who were someone to look at to kind of target and mold my career around.
It's funny you mentioned Don Meyer, Coach. My mom went to Lipscomb. I went to Don Meyer's
Nice.
basketball camp as a kid. So that's
Yeah.
funny how you mentioned
Yep.
Coach Meyer there.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, he was a fantastic basketball coach.
Yes, indeed, a great man as well. I almost went to Lipscomb coach, but I chose Tennessee State because Tennessee State had football. So my mom wanted me to become a
Yeah,
Lipscomb Bison. I said, I want to play football, mama. But Tennessee State was the school I went to instead of Lipscomb. It's right in the same town,
yeah,
but I still spurned her. She hated it. She hates it to this day that I spurned her school to play football. Tennessee State.
yeah. I bet.
I said, if Lipscomb had football, I would have went there. You know what they did at the time. But yeah,
Yep.
coach, I definitely love Coach Meyer as well. And the Big Sky's league, coach, like I mentioned earlier, the league is getting better. A lot of great teams in the league. So if you got a chance, kind of from afar, watch the league from afar, see what kind of coaches in the league and how did those guys play out there yet?
Yeah, I grew up in the Northwest. Obviously, since probably a young kid, have followed how Big Sky basketball has gone. Obviously, recently Montana, Weber State have been very good. Northern Colorado's on the rise. A number of other programs have had some success too, but it's also a league where there's been a lot of parity. I think just a short time ago, over a 5-year span, there were 5 different conference champions. So we're working. We know we got a little ways to go, but we will hope to get ourselves in that conversation here soon.
Coach Looney, it's been a pleasure to talk to you today, Coach. Hope to talk to you again down the road, man. If you play a game out here in Atlanta, man, let them come by and see you guys play, man. So hopefully Tech will play you or Georgia pay y'all some way to come out here and play, man.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate you having me.
Anytime, Coach. Have a great day out there. We'll talk to you real soon now.
You too.
All right, that's Ryan Looney, people.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist.
Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got my
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
I was back in the jar of the Bossman show. We're here with the new coach of Northern Kentucky North, Coach Darren Horn. Coach Horn, how's things up there in Northern Kentucky, man?
Doing great, man. Trying to get settled. A lot going on, as you can imagine, but really a great place. Very fortunate to be the North's head coach. John Brandon did an outstanding job here. The program is really on the rise. Ton of energy in our program and at the university as well. Really a great place.
Yeah, Coach, I feel like you're going to a great situation because, Coach, it's good to go to come to a job where you don't do too much rebuilding. You know, you can tweak here or two and kind of put your stamp on it that way, but really, it's really being built up pretty well for you. You can come in and kind of keep that train going.
Well, definitely a lot of returning guys, and not just returning guys, but returning guys that have produced and have won, which as a head coach you really like. Now, it should be stated that they did lose, or we did lose the best player in school history statistically, the leading rebounder and scorer, Drew McDonald. So I don't know that it's an automatic assumption that all that gets filled, but definitely some stuff to work with. Really like the character of our guys and the work ethic that they've shown so far, and really excited about the opportunity.
And, Coach, I know you was in Texas for many years after you left South Carolina there. What about this opportunity to come back to your home state of Kentucky, come back sit to a program that you know that John Brandon did a good job at? So, all the factors, including those two I just mentioned, to kind of bring you back over here to the Norseman and lead those guys up there in the Highland Heights there?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is it's a program that's winning, and it's a program that I think can not only continue to win, but can continue to take some steps. Again, John and his staff did a terrific job, 2 tournaments in 3 years. The next steps to take are to try to win some quality non-conference games and find a way to get that win in March in the NCAA tournament. So we're really going to try to do the same things that they would have done if they were still here. I think that's the biggest thing that stands out. And the other thing is I'm very comfortable in the area, had a lot of success at Western Kentucky recruiting the area that we need to recruit to be successful here at Northern Kentucky, and including, the Indianapolis and Kentucky and Ohio areas. And so I think those two things, opportunity to win and be in a program that's on the rise and an area that I'm familiar with and feel like I can do a good job in because of my experience and contacts.
West Kentucky, you did a great job there, Coach. You proven you can how to build a mid-major program. In West Kentucky, you was doing real well there, and so I feel like fans in North Kentucky should also know, hey, we got a good guy who knows the area. He's from the area who knows how to get the guys we need to get in this program, and you've shown practice out previously. You've proven you can coach at the mid-major level and do a great job in that state.
Yeah, I think the programs have some real similarities. Western Kentucky's been doing it for a longer time. Northern Kentucky's, not too long into the Division I transition. But, the one thing that they've got in common is that people that really care about basketball and people that really support their program. We've got an unbelievable facility. We get great fan support, and there's room for it to grow. And so that part of it is very exciting.
Yes, indeed. And coaching the Horizon League, the league has always been, so even I was younger. I'm in my 30s now, Coach. So I've always known that the Horizon League had great ball when I was younger. So just think about, you got Mike Davis up there. You got Oakland's always been good as well. All the Wright State's always Coach Nagy's been good the last few years. So it's a great league with great coaches and a lot of competition every night when you guys play. It's going to be very hard no matter who you play up and down the league there.
Yeah, there's no doubt the Horizon is a league that's on the rise and has an opportunity to compete for two bids here at some point. It's a lot of basketball programs that have good basketball tradition, programs that are growing and getting better. The geographical footprint is good. It creates some natural rivalries. Us and Wright State have really battled it out the last couple of years to the top of the league. Great proximity with them being only over in Dayton. And so, I think that there's a lot of positives with being in the Horizon League.
And Coach, what like you said, where your location is, right there by Cincinnati, you got the Indianapolis, the Dayton, right there at you guys. It's a good spot for you. You can get guys 5 different ways, in my opinion, Coach. International guys, grad transfers, to sit ones and play how many usually have left. Also the JUCO route and the high school senior route to build your roster out.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we've got some flexibility here because of our location, the league that we're in. We've really got the best of both worlds here. We've got an outstanding university, tremendous technology here at the university in terms of the programs. We've got one of the few informatic programs in the country, which is something that's new and on the rise. And, as you said, we're at a great state school with, kind of a state school feel and a great campus, but man, we're 6 miles across the river from downtown Cincinnati. So you truly can get the best of both worlds. And I think, as you said, from a recruiting standpoint, not just geographically in our own area, but get into the transfer market, get into the international market, and really got some flexibility with that.
Yes, and Coach, also get the job now. You can kind of get an eye for your guys to read the tape here, to get a development plan for your players as they come back for some sessions here, because you kind of implement your system, kind of figure out what you got, kind of get those guys acclimated to how you're going to run things here going forward.
Yeah, this summer will give us an opportunity to get with these guys, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of things that are really similar. There's some foundational things in winning basketball that take place, and this is a team that's won an awful lot of games the last a couple of years, and so I know some of that will be probably very similar, but just in terms of there'll obviously be some tweaks, and we'll put our touch on it, so it'll be a learning process, not only for the guys but for us as well. We want to make sure that we build on the positive things that they did do here individually and collectively to be successful. And so we'll have the summer to work with that. We have a foreign trip to the Virgin Islands in August, so we'll get 10 days of practice. So really have a good opportunity this summer to jump in and hopefully get a head start on that transition that you're talking about.
Yes, indeed, Coach. And for the folks who have not seen your teams play, like I have Western Kentucky, South Carolina over the years, how do you want your team to be known? For how the playing style to be known? Because as I know, it's very important, Coach, for a team to be known to play hard and have an identity. What you want your identity to be with this team starting here going forward in this year?
Yeah, I think the two words that come to mind are aggressive and attacking. We want a team that on both ends of the floor plays really, really hard, great aggressiveness, and then attacks. And offensively, what that means is playing with a level of freedom for our guys that allows guys to take care of their individual abilities and really use their versatility. We love offensively to have the kind of versatility where guys are playing multiple positions, and at least 4 guys, if not all 5 on the floor, can shoot the ball from the perimeter regardless of size or position. And so those are the kind of things that we'll try to do in building our program, especially in recruiting.
And now comes schedule-wise, Coach. I know when area you're in, you can get good games from different schools, 2-for-1s or home and homes, really good because of where you're at. Now, do you guys play guarantee games in Northern Kentucky, or you all pretty much schedule however you want to schedule in that regard?
We have a couple games that we play on the road, but it's only 2, which is not bad, and we can be pretty strategic about that. And I really would love to grow the schedule. That's one area where the scheduling hasn't been very hard, hasn't been a lot of national names or recognizable names. I think the challenge with that, though, JR, to be honest with you, is I don't know how many people are going to be able to get to come back in our building. It's a tough place to play, and our program has been really good. So we definitely want to do that, but it's one of those things that's easier said than done simply because people aren't signing up, lining up out the door to sign up to come into our building in the BB&T Arena and have an opportunity to play.
A very nice arena you guys have. I've been up there a few times to see you guys play when Coach Brennan was there. So the really nice arena you guys have there. Cincinnati played there while they were doing their place. So you all have a top-notch place. But like I said, you all have been good for years. And I've been around Ron Hunter all these years. And Josh Pasman and Georgia Tech, I've noticed that when you're good, they don't really want to play. Especially if you have the zone. Ron Hunter play that zone. Nobody want to play that either. So I can only imagine the headaches schedule can give you guys who's been around those guys here in the ATL.
Yeah, well, what happens is they want to play you, but they want to play you at third place, and they want to play in a neutral site. They don't ever want to come back in your building, and that doesn't help Northern Kentucky University. So
sure doesn't.
We may have to get creative in our scheduling in some ways, with hopefully some neutral sites as well to try to get some of those kind of opponents we're talking about. But we would love to get to the point where we're able to get those kind of teams in our building.
And, Coach, who have been some guys in your career that really had a good impact on you, coaching-wise, really helped you mold you as a coach to who you are today?
Yeah, it starts for me with Tom Crean, the head coach of Georgia now, who was at Indiana and Marquette. He recruited me as an assistant to be a player at Western Kentucky, and then I worked for him for 4 years at Marquette as we built that program, with Dwayne Wade, and then eventually on to the Final Four. And so, great influence from him. And then I got to tell you what, Jared, I learned a ton working for Shaka Smart the last 4 years. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that's not only one of the best college basketball coaches in our game, but also just an outstanding person. Really just tremendous guy to learn from and to work with. And so those 2 guys really stand out. My college coach that I played for, Ralph Willard, huge influence on me. But and also my high school coach, a guy named Nolan Barger, who won a ton of games in Lexington, Kentucky, and really gave me a great foundation in fundamental basketball.
I saw you as assistant at Morehead State, Coach. I know about Morehead. I went to Tennessee State University for my college career, so I know about going to Morehead and going into OVC. So I said, Coach Horn, OVC got a little bit there too, so that kind of made me feel good as well, seeing you got a little OVC touch to you as well.
Absolutely. Spent some time at Morehead State for a couple of years, and of course, Western Kentucky was an old OVC team, so we still had some games with Murray State, and I played in that league. So, as you know, great basketball. In the Southern Ohio, Kentucky, down into the Tennessee area. Great college basketball at all levels, from your Kentuckys and Indianas and those schools and Louisville's all the way. Like you said, into the OVC and other conferences as well.
And, Coach, I would say it was a quick funny story. I went to go to basketball camps here at Tennessee State University under Frankie Allen. I ended up also being there on Sal Alexander and ended up playing for the guy when he was still the coach there. So I feel like the OVC's been great to me because my mom went to Lipscomb in Nashville. So I'm actually a Florida guy. So being my mom in summertime, she'll see me at Tennessee TSU for camps and things of that nature. So that's how I got to say, I would have come here for college. So thank God Coach Sy gave me a scholarship back in 2005.
Hey, you never know. That's why you go to those camps, baby. You go to get better, and you never know who's watching, right?
Yes, indeed, Coach. Let me add one more I got for you, Coach. I know Kentucky's good, great for food. I love the food in Kentucky. I'll ask you, ask coaches about these. So I know you've been a few days, Coach. But who they told you in Highland Heights where you can get some great food at, Coach? Let's go and watch you guys play. How can they go get some real nice food they can eat when they go watch the Norsemen win games next year? The BBB and TC Center. We're here real soon.
I'm going to have to get back to you on that. The only local joint I've been to that's not a chain because, we've been so slammed with just kind of hitting fast food, to be honest with you, is actually a Chinese place, Oriental Walk. So it was really good. But not necessarily unique to our region, obviously. So I'm going to have to get back to you on that one, man. I know you can get a good bourbon here in Kentucky and some good country cooking. I just got to find the spots.
Hey, man, I know you can, man, but I love your area because when I come up there, man, I just go up Cincinnati, come over the river, hang out, get some chili, So I tell you, man, I love it.
That's right.
You're in a great spot up there, Coach. So I look forward to coming there to see you guys play because y'all are up the road from me, over 75 in Atlanta. So it's a short drive for me to come up there and see you guys play. So I love what you guys have going on up there with the North, Coach. Best of luck to you, man, because I know it's a great gig that you just picked up there.
Well, we're really excited about it, and you're welcome here anytime, and we'd love to have you.
Coach Horn, thank you for your time today, man. Look forward to seeing you on the road recruiting in the ATL, man. We got some great players here, as you already know, Coach. Some great guys here you can maybe use up there, man. Get over to play with you, man.
Hey, I've had a couple of Georgia guys in the past, and they've all been good, so we'd love to have one. Thanks.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great one. Talk to you real soon now.
Okay, take care.
All right, it's Darren Horn on the Bossman Show.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
I was here, Joe, the Bossman Show, talking to my man from the AJC, D. Orlando Ledbetter, the man himself. We call him D-Led around here. D, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, boss man. Just getting ready for rookie minicamp this week, and kind of getting out of the fog of that draft, and trying to get some downtime here in the off season.
I hear D-Led, man. I'm telling you, that draft, man, to me, it was a drag to me, man. I was just disappointed. I feel like the Falcons pretty much just said in the draft, we were injured last year. That's why we didn't have a good year, and the coaching was not that good. So they got rid of it. So scapegoating Marquand Manuel, scapegoating my man, what's the dude, Sargisian, and saying, hey, injuries in the coaches, and that's why we drafted the way we drafted this year. It was injuries. The draft left me very underwhelmed.
Yeah, myself too, and maybe they're right this time, but the last time they tried to build the line through the draft, they messed it up, taking Lamar Holmes and Peter Kahns, and they're trying to build the line again here. If they hit it, it'll be pretty good to have two of those spots for the next 10 years. But if those guys can't play, then they wasted opportunity to get better players, and they gave away draft capital in the process.
Exactly. That's the part that got me. You traded back into the first round and gave up your second and third picks for this other guy. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they sign two guys in the free agency as well for the line as well? So are you saying they're going to be starters automatically? I don't see these guys being starters per se off the rip.
Well, yeah, I don't either, but they signed James Carpenter, who's a little bit older, so, you can have a bridge guy for him. And then you signed Jamin Brown, a younger guy who's played a little bit but haven't been that good, but they gave him $5.5 million. So, and Ty Sambrello, they gave him a nice little piece of change, too, for somebody who hasn't been a Pro Bowl level starter on a long-time basis for the NFL, so for the Falcons. So they put some money on the line. They drafted people on the line. The message is clear. Hey, we got to protect Matt Ryan if we're moving forward with anything else. And so much so that the problems on the defensive side of the ball, we're not even going to pay them any attention right now. We're going to try to put our head coach over there and have him fix that side of the ball.
And that's the part that got me, D-Lay, is that defensively, I still see no depth on that defense. I said Oliver, you're hoping he steps up. You're hoping Ray Wilson is not the main guy, the nickel. You got Casey there. You got different guys, Neesman as well. Like, I just feel like they just pretty much said, we got hurt. Our guys are back. We're good.
Yeah, no question. They're going to get the guys back. The fourth-round pick, Sheffield, they think he could play outside. He's fast, but he's going to be able to play right away. Then the later pick, Jordan Miller from Washington, he's the inside guy. So you put him at the nickel behind KZ. And then you're counting on Isaiah Oliver to come through, and Ricardo Allen to get healthy, and Keanu O'Neal to get healthy at the safety spot. So, that's your secondary. Then you hope Trufant could get back to the Pro Bowl level he was playing at before he tore his pec. If you can do all of that, if all of that goes right for you, then you're in pretty good shape. But that's a whole lot of variables that you need to line up for yourself.
We're going to talk about the line. I mean, Kaminsky, to me, I love his energy. I heard Charles Davis kind of talking him up on the draft coverage, but that means we're trusting Vic and Tack to rush the passer, Grady Jarrett to do his thing, try to get a new deal. We'll talk about that later. But I feel like, once again, they're just saying, hey, Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator now, that's his side of the ball. He got it.
Yeah, no question. Well, I mean, when a kid comes from the Division II, no matter what type of physical skills and talent that he has, he's going to be going up against grown men here in the National Football League. And you wonder, hey, if his body can hold up under that pressure. How fast can you get him ready to play 10 snaps a game? Or, if you want more out of him sooner, you're going to be taking a big gamble on a Division II guy, even though he might have the physical capabilities and the mental makeup to do it. But no matter how you slice it, it's a gamble, even though he does have great measurables and so forth. So, you want to bring him along slow, but you need somebody to play now. So that's the conundrum that the Falcons will find themselves in with this here fourth-round pick, John Comiskey, out of University of Charleston in West Virginia.
Now, D-Led, which players has this draft put on its own to really, really step up, or they're off the roster now?
For which draft, Bossman?
Which players out of this on the roster now with this draft is going to have to really step up to keep that spot on the roster? I think one for me is Brian Hill. I think that drafting that running back means Brian Hill either has to be a fullback or he's off the roster. So who are some guys on this team that he really needs to have a great OTA training camp to hopefully save their spot on this roster come September?
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll start with Brian Hill because you got Quadre Olison and you got the running back Marcus Green that they drafted. Green's more of a wide receiver. They just said he was a running back so that they can get more wide receivers to sign here. So Brian Hill's certainly on the bubble now. Line-wise, Wes Schweitzer's on the bubble now. They already let Brandon Fusco go, so Wes Schweitzer can't be far behind. And in the backup tackle room, Matt Gano is going to have to show what he can do on the line. So those are the line guys. These two cornerbacks, but they got spots for the cornerbacks, so nobody's in trouble there. Because they let Robert Alford and Brian Hill go already. So Sheffield and Miller will be, they'll be able to make it. And then you got the line, then you got the defensive tackle. He's going to be able to play. The cornerbacks are okay, and the running backs are okay. So, they got to beat out Brian Hill back there. So there's a spot for the wide receiver, too, because they let Marvin Hill go. So there's Russell Gage is 5. He could be 6. So if he can do the returning, then he'll earn the spot on the team as the 6th receiver. So, be some adjustments because they got too many tight ends in here now. Saulbert, Cooper, Paulson, and Luke Stocker. So, Malarkey likes those big blocking tight ends. So Saulbert might be the odd man out in the tight end room. Because he's not a big blocking type, although maybe you can get him through to the practice squad and keep him around that way. But it was a couple of years back they did keep 4 tight ends, and maybe they will this time around also.
Now I'm thinking Luke Stocker also hurts Brian Hill as a fullback because Stocker plays the fullback in Tennessee last year under Vrabel and Malarkey a little bit. So I feel like Brian Hill's really tenuous right now. If I was him, I wouldn't buy any houses in the ATL right now.
Yeah, no question about it. He's bounced back and forth between the practice squad and even a stint with the Bengals. He got to play a little bit last year. They also got Jeremy Langford, the old Bears back. But, if they're going to run it, you're going to keep a lot of backs around to run it through the preseason for you while you getting Freeman ready to go. And Luke Stocker did play some fullback, and they talked about that. So Ricky Ortez and Brian Hill and Quadre Allison, y'all all of a sudden have some pretty good options at fullback too. So we'll see how that unfolds for them here as they move forward.
Now, I want to ask you about Matt Brown's old story, but are you one or the ones on the side that going with Giorgio Tavecchio was a good move? I feel like you want to bring back Matt Brown. He's money. The guy tore his hamstring pretty much on a 57-yard field goal for you. So, you really want to let that guy go with Giorgio Tavecchio, who showed in Oakland he kind of struggled a little bit. I know he played well for us last year in Matt's place, but going with him over Matt Brown to me kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He led on that move about Dimitrov.
Yeah, a lot of the people did too, and I think they were waiting to see, where the money was going to go. If they were saving the big money by going with the younger kicker, they needed the money for the line, but, it turns out they could have kept Matt Bryant at his salary. And, I thought they were using it to keep Bruce Irvin or somebody like that. If it was a lot of money that meant keeping a better player, then okay, but it didn't really do that. Looked like they just decided that Matt Bryant was getting old at 44 and that, they couldn't kick him from the distances they wanted to kick him from anymore. I know when Mike Smith was here, he would only kick him from 53 on in. And we saw Dan Quinn try to kick him from 56 on out, last year and got him almost hurt. So, maybe they wanted a kid with a bigger leg, maybe not as clutch as the old man, but, you should be able to get closer than 56 anyway. And they're elected to move in another direction in the kicking game. I understand it. You saving salary, going with the younger, more lively leg, but you're giving up clutch performance and a surefire guy under pressure in Matt Bryant.
You got that right. And speaking of Dimitrov one more time, D-Led, I read your tweet about how he misled those players. To me, it's dirty. Just say what he is. You don't have to trick anybody. Oh, he's running back. He's really a receiver. I feel like that was so dirty. And those guys who they signed, I wouldn't trust him based on your tweet alone. If I saw that one of those guys, I saw your tweet.
Yeah, well, I listened to his interview on Sirius XM, and I didn't make it up. That's what he said. It was him talking to the people on Sirius XM about, they listed him as a running back just because they wanted to sign the wide receivers, and then nobody would come to sign with them, if they had, X amount of receivers already drafted and in camp. So it's probably a common practice around the league, but yeah, all kinds of stuff go on when they're trying to sign you. Here in this era where you just have a 7-round draft, back in the day, that'd been 13 rounds. You draft who you wanted. But now you got to compete on the free agent as the undrafted college free agent market. And, that was a little, I'm sure there's more things going to that, but yeah, it was a little bit underhanded for the receivers that ended up signing with him.
Now, we're talking about Julio Jones' contract. I haven't heard much on that front. I know his numbers, he's probably going to want $20 million a year, $60 million guaranteed, in the $100 million range. Is that what you're hearing? Is it getting any closer to getting done?
Yeah, he did talk about that too. He felt like he's in a better place there with Julio. He had told somebody else that it was going to be done in 2 weeks. Of course, that's been 3 weeks now, so we haven't heard from him or Jimmy Sexton in Julio's camp on when the deal's going to get done. And then, Grady Jarrett, they're like, okay, well, he's got the 15.2 But for the first time, they said, hey, maybe you're just going to have to play for, that this year. And we'll just keep talking and just give us another year to talk. So there's not been any good movement on that. He did sign it. So he's ready to go on that 15.2. But I'm wondering if his representation is pricing him out of a good deal, trying to get a great deal. With Aaron Donald resetting the market, he can't get, he can't ask for that type of money, but he wants to get in the neighborhood at least. Yeah, he wants to get in the neighborhood at least. He doesn't want to be way out in left field, and I understand that.
Now, lack of our cap space is another thing I want to talk to you about because I know we cut Brandon Fusco, got about $3.9 million in cap space. We have enough money to sign any rookies, and our rookies on that draft pool, and also enough money to sign maybe a post-June first cut or two here.
Yeah, it'll shake free, but right now, they got 4 of the rookies signed. That money will come off June 1, so will Ryan Schrader. But most of the guys that are out there or big money guys like Sue, Ziggy Ansah, Eric Berry, those are 10 million plus a year type guys. You're not going to get them in here for 6-7 million. And you don't want them in here at 6-7 million, messing up your locker room flow because they feel they're being underpaid. So those guys that are out there are going to be, Sue got 14 from the Rams last year, so you don't want him in here at 5. That's not going to be a good, attitude adjustment for him. So, yeah, there'll be some money available, but I don't see it for any other big-name free agents that are still out there on the street.
That's what I got from D-Lid is this Dirk Cutter. I read we talking about he want to have a balance on first, second downs, not be so predictable. Do you feel like we'll still have that inside zone, outside zone scheme that Shanahan ran and Sarkisian ran, or is he going to go back to what we saw when he was on the Mike Smith there, out of 11 personnel there?
Yeah, he's gonna use probably their short yardage attack and keep the inside-outside zone. That's what Coach Quinn wants to play, and that's what he's going to call. The gap stuff is for short yardage. So that's why you got the bigger linemen. If he's going to try to run outside zone with all these the bigger linemen, then that's going to be pretty much a disaster. But if they can get up the short yardage stuff settled, then they'll be in pretty good shape. So we'll see how he's going to mash it up. He's talked about balance, and the really time he only had balance was in Jacksonville when he didn't really have a quarterback. But he led the league in rushing with Maurice Jones-Drew. So he's got a quarterback. Hopefully, he's got some running backs with Ito and Devontae that could run that inside zone and some outside zone, and have Matt Ryan throw off of that. So that's what you kind of got to look at is the old Jacksonville offense under Dirk Cutter in his first few years in the league, as opposed to what he was doing here in Atlanta or even down in Tampa Bay.
D-Led, you are the man. You get my listeners crazy to hear from you, and you came through for them, man, because you definitely got us caught up on these Falcons, man. I guess we all feel the same way, man. We're underwhelmed, disappointed. We hoping for the best, but we know how it is in Atlanta. He could always end up the worst.
Well, hopefully they got it right, and we'll be there for you and the fans whenever they need to hear from us. And we wish everybody well, and enjoy the rest of the offseason.
Same with D-Led. Hold it down, man. Get them cigars popping, brother. I know you love them. Get them popping, man. Go to that new Cam Newton spot. It's real nice.
Okay, will do. I'll check it out.
All right, D-Led. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, boss man. Take care.
All right.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, back in the Bossman Show. Time for Boss and Bone. Yes, Boss and Bone. Not as some unnamed coach thinks that he was fired. So I will let Bone respond to this unnamed coach who thinks he's fired. So, Bone, what's up, man? Talk to your boy.
Hey, what's good, man? I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that you rehired me upon request from from your friend of me. I find this guy very funny. Actually, he's kind of like a less dangerous Trump in a way because I just find him amusing. I don't take him serious, and like, his hate towards me, I find it very amusing actually. And the sad thing is, if I had to vote this year, I would have voted for him for Coach of the Year, and he's coached my favorite player in the league, and he's beaten the team that I hate. So honestly, we're kind of like frenemies as well, I guess.
Yeah, he might enjoy hearing that. I don't know if he'll change his opinion of you, but I think he'll like hearing that for now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not an olive branch I'm sending. I'm not sending an olive branch. I'm just stating facts that we have the same enemies as far right now. As far as in this round. So right now, I'm cool with him. But you know what? Like I said, I find him funny and harmless.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And now, Bone, let's get into the Giants draft, man. They took Daniel Jones. I was shocked when they drafted this guy, when you could add Dwayne Haskins potentially. But Gettleman is going to Gettleman, obviously. And Gettleman, and he got Daniel Jones. He's also said that Daniel Jones could sit for 3 years. Are you telling me you're going to re-sign Eli Manning for 2 more years to be around and clunk it up out there? I mean, I don't know what Dave is doing.
I don't think anyone knows what Dave is doing, but Dave knows that he is the smartest man in any room he walks into. He swears that he knows something that we all don't know. But I'll tell you what, I just don't understand the philosophy of last year where you bypass all the quarterbacks on the list except for Baker Mayfield, who picked at first the draft. So you have the second pick in the draft. And as great as Saquon is, as great as he will be if he stays healthy, he was the best player in the draft overall last year, but that wasn't the need at that time. But Dave thought that they can squeeze 1 year out of Eli, so they bypassed the quarterback of the future. They go get the running back and try to restock tools around Eli, only to find out that Eli is cooked and that team's not very good. So now they're starting to do a rebuild on the fly, and they bypass probably the best QB on the board in Haskins. But side note, what I say to you months ago about the Giants drafting black quarterbacks, I'm not saying it's a thing. I'm just saying that they haven't done so yet.
You called that. You did call that. I agree. You called it.
Yeah, I on top of my head, they drafted Andre Woodson, I think, in the 6th round from Kentucky.
And he's mixed.
So that's so that right there tells you the Giants' history of black quarterbacks. So I didn't ever think that it was going to be Haskins at 6. But I damn sure didn't think it was going to be Jones at 6. And it's fun because Gettleman swore that there were 2 other teams that were going to pick Jones before 17 came up. And I know guys in Denver, like I said, I'm a Broncos fan, but I also have friends on the Broncos beat, and they swear John Elway never even thought about Daniel Jones at 10. And the Redskins were all in on Haskins, because they had history as far as Snyder and his son and so forth. So there was those 2 teams right there. I think off the bat, they had no desire to pick Daniel Jones at their slot. So Gettleman either lied to or just lying. And if he's lying, that's not really different from what I hear from guys on the beat, on the Giants beat. He tells a lot of stories. Remember, he didn't sign Odell Beckham to trade him. He signed Odell Beckham and he traded him. So I don't know what's going on with the Giants. They still don't have really a pass rusher. The sad thing is they had a pretty good pick, 2 good picks in that first round at 17 and I think 31. But there was a pass rusher to be had. All right, there's Josh Allen from Kentucky, and I'm not being biased. Josh Allen played high school ball in my hometown here in New Jersey, in Montclair, New Jersey. So Josh Allen was a hometown kind of guy. He was an area guy. He was the best pass rusher on the board, and you bypass him for a project who you think is going to play not until another 2 or 3 years. It's absurd.
Yeah, the Giants are going to be itty-bitty men here real soon. And the New York Jets drafted the kid from Alabama, Williams. I know they traded those second-round picks to the Colts last year to move up to get their quarterback in Sam Darnold. What are your thoughts on the Jets draft overall? And has McCagnon and Adam Gates got off to a good start in your opinion?
Yeah, I think they have. I think they spent money wisely. They drafted wisely. They traded wisely, and we're now in a bizarro dimension of sports, boss man, where we have the Clippers are now the great team in LA, and Lakers are a clown show, and the Jets are now the budding, rising franchise in New York, and the Giants are now what the Jets were. It's a weird thing right now in sports, and I'm not sure if I like it too much. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, very scary, and it's also scary that could the Brooklyn Nets be a more viable free agent option for guys than the New York Knicks? Because I get you got Mills, Perry, and Fizdale there, but you still have the man upstairs, that non-singing jabroni, James Dolan.
Yeah, I want to say this slowly and maybe quietly because I know I have a lot of Knicks fans, friends who listen to this broadcast. Going to the Knicks is highly overrated. Everyone says, "Oh, because it's the Mecca." Listen, I've talked to many guys in the NBA over the years. I covered the Knicks for 10 years, and when the guys come in, superstar players come to the Garden as a road player, they told me almost to a man, it's much better to come in the Garden once a year. If you play in Western Conference, just come once a year, put on the show for the fans, and then get out of town because no one really wants to deal with the clown show that is the Knicks and Dolan. So what these guys want to do is come and put on the show, put on like a dazzling performance in the Garden, have their name chanted as a road player, and then dip. No one wants to call the Garden home for 41 games. I'm sorry, it's a fact. Unless they're going to back up the Brinks truck for guys like Durant and Kyrie, I tell you what, most guys don't want to come to New York because they don't want to deal with all the sideshow factor. So Brooklyn, to me, is a more enticing offer. I mean, I do like Fizdale. I've been a Fizdale fan since his days in Miami, an assistant coach. I like him, but I like Kenny Atkinson a lot. And I think Sean Marks in Brooklyn, I think they're doing it right. They're doing it with youth. They're doing it with draft. And now they'll have enough cash. Essentially, if they renounce D'Angelo Russell, if they trade him or move him, they'll have enough money, almost enough money as the Knicks.
Yeah, I see him being D'Angelo Russell. I think, especially after his little incident with he had and he put in J.R. Smith there. I think he'll not be a net next year. That's just my prediction based on what I'm hearing on the streets around the NBA land. Because this is the time of year the phone starts to buzz. Not like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I like D'Angelo. I'm a Laker fan, so I liked him in L.A. I thought he had a raw deal, even what happened with him, Nick Young. I thought he had a raw deal. He's come on strong this last year. He had a great season, and he's an all-star and everything. But this is just dumb, bad thinking and bad timing. And if Sean Marks wasn't already thinking about moving Russell to create even more cap space for a Kawhi or a Durant, now D'Angelo's given Sean Marks and the company that he's given ammo to say, you know what, we can't trust you. And that's all the manager needs is to tell a player, we can't trust your decision making, so it's now time for you to go. And if that happens, it's on D'Angelo.
Now, we've been talking since the Lakers fiasco started, even in full force. What are your thoughts? Magic Johnson resigned right before the Lakers' last game of the season, and he didn't tell anybody. He did it via his impromptu presser.
Magic is not built for managing an NBA franchise or roster. We saw it back, I believe, in 98. We came as a coach and coached 16 games, and there were 5-11, and he just couldn't hack today's player or the player at that time. He didn't like that kind of player at the time. He just can't hack it because he has so many other ventures out there. He has, the movie theater, the Starbucks, and he has other ventures out there where he doesn't have the time. There's enough hours in the day for him to do a real grind. He's kind of like the Black Phil Jackson. He puts his name on things as far as an executive, but he doesn't want to grind. The everyday grind is not for him. It's not. And I think Pelinka saw that, and Pelinka was, I think, what Magic called the snakes in the grass behind him that was Pelinka, shooting off emails, bad mouth of Magic, saying Magic's in Hawaii, why isn't he here in LA? Like, Magic wasn't built for being an everyday executive, a grinder. Jerry West is an NBA lifer. He's a grinder. He's an everyday guy. Pat Riley's a grinder, an NBA guy lifer. Magic is not that kind of guy. He has too many ventures, too many tentacles out there.
Yes, indeed. And what is say about the Lakers fiasco that Monty Williams chooses the Phoenix Suns and their crappy owner Robert Sarver and their crappy facilities over the LA Lakers?
Yeah, it says a lot. I think it says a lot towards Monty that he just want to get back in the game as well, because he has toiled an assistant coach for so many years. And I like Monty. I thought Monty would have been a good fit as a head coach for a young roster. But the asterisk is LeBron, and I don't think Monty would have been a good fit for LeBron. But for a young roster on the rise, yeah, I think Monty is a good pick. Now, will Sarver get out of the way? I don't know. Sarver is James Dolan West, so I don't know if Sarver gets out of the way. But if he lets Monty build and let Monty coach, Monty can have success out there, especially if they get a very high draft pick. If they get Ja Morant or Zion, if they get that and they pair with Ayton and Booker, then you have a very good young and affordable nucleus on the rise. So I kind of don't blame Monty. I'm not sure if he ever was taken seriously with LA, because LeBron wants Ty Lue. But if there was an option, I don't blame Monty for going to Phoenix.
Okay, Bone, I'll close out with Florida man story. A Florida man was arrested after using head clippers to cut off his girlfriend's baby daddy's junk after he hugged her and cupped her booty at a birthday party, which he brought their previous child together to the party. So he beat him down, got him down, cut his junk off with head clippers in Florida.
Head clippers? Head clippers. That's personal. Like, where do you have? Is he a lens clipper on the side? Like, where do you get head clippers from? He's at his ready. You know what? I'm gonna go in the car. I'm gonna get head clippers for you. Like, where do you have that at the ready?
Exactly. Like, you got that in your trunk is waiting on to cut this dude's junk off if he hugs the girl. Look, he was there before you was there, my man. You both, if you ask me, you both are even. You both got kids by. Now, he crossed line by cupping the booty. Yeah, but he don't lose his junk over that though.
Yeah, that's not junk losing worthy. And also now you got to think about it on a serious note. He had kids, and now those kids don't have a dad, because there's no way in heck this guy is getting out of prison anytime soon after that.
No, he's not. So, folks, that is Boss and Bone for you. Bone is back in action. He's been rehired to the chagrin of a certain head coach who I know is listening as we speak. So,
yeah. You know what? And I'm saying thank you for right now the 3-1 lead. So I guess right now I gave it away by saying that a certain coach has a 3-1 lead. But thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for beating the Celtics. I appreciate you for having me be rehired at your behest. I owe you a cup of Joe if I ever see you again.
Yes, indeed, folks. That is Boss and Bone here.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.